Hello, everybody. It's Sarah here, the Sisters Enchanted, coming at you with tech troubles again today. This is not my, it doesn't seem to be my week for being able to be on the internet. Today is the last day of our self-care challenge, and it's been 21 days. It's been 21 whole entire days that we have been doing this. I do know that if you were watching this on the replay, I apologize if you couldn't catch it live due to our tech troubles. This will be uploaded in the future on YouTube, and it's going to be shared into our Expedition to Soul Facebook group. So I do apologize for anyone having trouble watching this due to my ongoing tech troubles that I thought I solved the other day. Apparently I did not. But today is the last day of our 21-day self-care challenge. For 21 days, we have been diving into all things self-care. Now here at the Sisters Enchanted, we do self-care a little bit different than what you might see in other places or hear from other sources. We really look at creating a life that is the foundation, that has a foundation of self-care. So the first week, the first 7 days, you walked through boundaries, any barriers that you might have to self-care. We all have them. We have our own internal barriers. We all have real life stuff. We have people to take care of. We have jobs, whatnot, all of these things. We talk about time. Time is something I'm very, very passionate about. If you've been following along live for the last 21 days, you've heard me talk about it. I even emailed about it, was in the email I sent out this morning. So I'm super passionate about time. We talked about all of this in the first 7 days. The second 7 days, day, day 8 through 15 or something like that. I don't know the math, 8 through 14. I suddenly can't math. I never could math, but now I really can't math. We talk about different kinds of self-care. So relational self-care, physical self-care, spiritual self-care, all of these different types of self-care. And the reason that we want to look at these different kinds of self-care is because it's so tempting to do things in our lives that really don't serve us and paint them with this like self-care paintbrush and say, I'm doing this thing because it's my self-care, right? I'm doing this thing because I need some time for myself. And my proposition to you all is, what got you to the point that you had to justify time to yourself? What got you to the point that it's not just part of your life, or that when things happen, craziness ensues, that you don't just have the resources available to navigate these times with as little stress, as much ease as possible, right? What got you there? Now I pulled 2 cards. I was messing around with this, where's the lid? There it is. I grabbed it so I could see what it was called. The Witches of Legend Oracle deck this morning. Anna gifted me this, so I don't know where to find it, but I think she bought it on like a Kickstarter. The Witches of Legends Oracle deck. And I pulled these 2 cards. Now I don't have the guidebook with me. It's in a different place, but Athena and Freya are who I grabbed for us this morning. And I think that it's, I think that's an interesting thing for us as we round out self-care. So Athena, it said, was born from Zeus's forehead. And Zeus, if you really get into mythology, Zeus isn't actually he's not a great guy. He's not great towards women. He's not really he's not the guy that, you know, if like children's comics or like cartoons sometimes would make him out to be, if you just read about him in that way. But Athena was born, it says, from his forehead in full warrior garb, like ready to go. And Athena has a pretty traumatic experience in her early years of life. She's never a child, so like I guess her just early years of being born a warrior. She accidentally or inadvertently, it's like kind of an accident, but she didn't think it would like really happen this way. She kills her best friend. She has no mother. She's destined to not love because of the way just of her personality, who she is. But when we look at her as a warrior, she is the opposite of Ares, who's the god of war. Now, Ares will go head first into like a war without thinking twice. He will just barrel through, cause destruction, cause chaos. If you're into comics and things, I mentioned I'm not really that into them, but my daughter's pretty into the Wonder Woman comics right now and learning about Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman comes to planet Earth because of God Ares, like causing chaos, at least in the version we've been reading. Anyway, Athena is not like that. She's more calculated. She's going to step back. She's going to look at what's happening from a neutral perspective. She's going to analyze. She's going to think what's really going on here. And when it comes to us in self-care, I think we can take something from that because we're so often reactive. Like, no one cleaned the house. No one's taking care of me. Nobody's supporting me. Nobody did X, Y, and Z, or I do everything. Well, that's where we get into that God of War energy, the Aries energy. The Athena energy is like, how did this happen? And how do I battle that problem? How do I battle the problem that got me here to begin with? Not just going into it, emotions blazing, tearing everything down. What happened that got me here? I mentioned in the email that I wrote today, I sent it earlier this morning, what is this thing about going all in on something? And I think we can all think about how much we go all in for other people. Whether you take care of aging relatives, maybe you have kids, maybe you don't have kids, you work, or you take care of your home, or you have friends. There's so many instances, I think, when we can all say we go all in for other people. We're there when they need us. We show up, we do the things, but who's going all in for us, right? Who's going all in for us? Now, the interesting thing is the way we feel about how we're going all in for other people. There's somebody out there who feels like they're going all in for you. Think about that for a second. Somebody out there thinks they're going all in for you, but we don't receive it that way. We all just feel the emotion that we're in. So if we can refocus to going all in for ourselves, going all in on ourselves, that's when we can really see the change from self-care. That brings me to Freya. She's a Norse goddess, and here at the Sisters Enchanted, we love Norse mythology. It's probably our favorite pantheon of mythology. We actually teach a class around Yule, around Viking magic and things like that, but it's mostly like a Norse mythology sort of class. Anywho, Freya, she's from the Norse pantheon, and Freya is like the epitome of luxury and beauty and just like doing what she wants to do to feel whatever she is going to make her feel like passion and just being herself and just not caring like what anybody thinks. If she wants to sleep around, she's going to do that. If she wants to be this like lavish, beautiful goddess and just like do what she wants, she's going to do that. She's not going to worry about it. Not worry about what other people say. And this is that going all in on yourself sort of energy. And we all need more of that. And again, I'm going to say this one more time. I just said I'm going to say it again. How we feel like we're going all in for everybody in our lives. Like, we aren't the only people who feel that way. Other people in the world feel that way too. So there's people that you feel like you're going all in for. Somebody on that receiving end does not feel like you are going all in for them, which is why it's so important for us to drop those expectations away and go all in on ourselves. I think so often we're looking for like a before and an after. I'll do this tomorrow. I'll do this a different time. Well, after this person does X, Y, and Z, I'll do this. After like spring break, I'll do this. After whatever thing happens, I'll do this. Or like looking for this grand transformation. The truth is, we're always in the middle. There is no before and after. There is no beginning and there is no end. There's only the right now, right? There's only the present. We all hear that. That's like a very spiritual woo thing to say. But it is true. There is no beginning and ending to your story. There is just the middle. It's just what you are living. And when we look at this, what am I living right now? How do I go all in on myself in this moment in time? How do I care for myself? How do I nurture myself first, just like I'm nurturing everybody else? That's when we can see change. If we look at it and think, we're always living in the middle of our story, right? We're always living the middle of our story instead of waiting for the next thing or like 1,000 things, that's not a word, 1,000 things happened in the past that are making it hard for me to move forward. If you look at right now and realize I'm always in the middle of my story. If you think of the writing process, if you ever wrote like essays in school or stories or whatever, or just like probably read a book at some point in time, or a movie, and you're in the middle. When you're in the middle, you can edit, you can rewrite the past, you can rewrite what came first, because you can always edit. You can rewrite that, and you can cast a new future. You can rewrite it when you think, I'm in the middle. I'm always in the middle. That doesn't mean erase things that happened before that make it feel like it's challenging for you to care for yourself now. We've all had experiences. Some of us in the spectrum of trauma, we all experience that differently. There's there's probably like 20 very explicit events in my life before the age of 25 that I could lean on every single day and say, because of that thing, I'm afraid to speak up. Because of that thing, I'm afraid to walk into a room full of men. Because of this thing that happened, I'm afraid to be hurt because I'm afraid someone's going to put me down. I'm afraid to be judged. I'm afraid to be pinned up against a wall. I'm afraid to be ridiculed, be a fear of failure. There's at least probably 20 very clear things before the age of 25 that I could say, because of those things, I can't show up fully for myself today. I can't go all in on myself. But sitting here now, and I realize this is the middle. I'm in the middle of my story. Yes, those things happened, but how can I rewrite my character so that I go all in on myself today, make myself the center of my story, and rewrite what that has done to me? Rewrite that, making me the strong person that I am, making me this Athena who can just think about things from a neutral perspective and say, what's at the root here, and what's the actual battle that needs to be fought? Not the one right in front of my face right now, the one that needs to be fought to change my reaction to what's happening right now, right? And then being more Freya and just stepping into whatever awesome version of myself I want to step into without worrying about all of those things. So that's what we want to think about here with this self-care challenge, and how we're at the end of this 21 days. There is no before and after. I was going to look and think, like, what are some really great shares that have happened in the book, in the group? And there are some really great shares. I know every time I come back to my own self-care practices, the things we talk about in the book, the things from this challenge, you know, I always like find some extra moment for myself, or I find some place where I was really thinking like, oh, I'm doing everything for everybody again. No one's doing for me, right? And I can sort of readjust that every time I do this challenge. But the fact of the matter is, life is happening all around us. Life is happening all around us. There are things that are going to happen tomorrow that are going to derail you. They're going to happen a month from now. They're going to derail you. That's what I'm saying about always being in the middle. And when we do these self-care practices and really lay the foundation, your finances just handled. So when shit hits the fan, it's just done. You don't need to worry about it. Your time for your health and wellness, your relationships, all of this, it just spirals and snowballs and gets better and better and better. And when the hard stuff happens, it's not so hard because you already have the foundation built. And when you do blow up like Ares, god of war, and you don't relax and like think like Athena, you learn to forgive yourself faster. You learn to apologize faster. You learn how to accept apologies faster and realize everybody's human just like you are, right? It doesn't become such a challenge. But here's the hard truth though, this doesn't happen overnight. All of this takes time. It takes time and it takes practice. We have to do it again and again and again. We have to get in there, do the shadow work, and understand, what am I doing that's just holding me back from where I want to be? What am I doing on this day that is not conducive to relational self-care, that is not conducive to financial self-care, that is not conducive to physical self-care or spiritual self-care, or speaking my own truth with myself? What am I doing today that's maybe coming from a past story that I haven't rewritten yet, so I can cast a new future and coming back to it? So there's not a before and an after. There is no magic pill. I cannot wave my witch's wand and just make everything better, and neither can you. It's a transformation, and it takes time. It takes time, and it takes commitment to going all in on yourself. All in on yourself. And once we have this beautiful foundation, like we have now, whether or not you've done all the 21 days, you can always come back to it. Whether or not you have that whole thing gone through, like I said, go back to it again and again. Now is where we can start to layer on. How do we do the deeper work? And this is where we bring in our tarot. It's where we bring in crystals. It's where we bring in our visualizations and kind of thinking about our future selves and what it means to have a crystal or some other kind of talisman that we carry with us as a reminder of where we're going, and using tarot as to get an eagle eye view of our life and maybe what we're not seeing about ourselves right now. This is where you can start to incorporate in healing herbs, or maybe making your own blend of a magical potion tea that you drink every day to remind yourself of your journey and what you're working on right now. This becomes a journey into self, nurturing yourself just like you nurture other people, a journey into shadow work, making more joy in your life. And constantly remembering we're in this middle. The things we're doing right now allow us to edit, to rewrite what came before in a different light for ourselves, to cast a different future. And we can always, always, always do that. And again, it's not always easy. I have 2 little kids that are both outside the box kids. Emotions run high in my house frequently. My husband is an Aries and we have opposite rising signs. If you know anything about astrology, that means we view the world in opposite ways. And I can tell you though, through all of the arguments, through all of the breakdowns, through all of the things, it's the practices here in 21 Day Self-Care and what we're going to go into in Expedition to Soul. And then those of you who choose to come along with us into Holistic Witchery after that, the ultimate toolkit. My life, there are days that every day still there's like a moment where I'm just like, oh my gosh, somebody like let me breathe, you know? But along with that, every single day I laugh. I have more joy than I've ever had in my life. But it's a constant coming back to myself. And when I'm not feeling those things, asking what got me here. Not being mad at the thing that's happening. It's asking what got me here. Oh my gosh, I'm on my cell phone due to my tech problems, and a thing just popped up and said, you only have 20% battery left. And I was like, oh, did I lose this one too? Anyway, what got me here, and what's the actual war I need to wage right now? And it's always on myself, right? Like it's always coming back to an expectation, a thought, a fear, not something that somebody else is doing to me in the moment. My reactions, the things that are happening, always from something else. You know, this like if there's this doesn't happen to me so much anymore because I've done a lot of financial self-care, but moments of overspending come back to feeling like everybody in my life as a kid, it was always a fight. Nobody wanted to pay for anything. My parents were divorced when I was young, always fought who was going to pay for what. People didn't think this was valuable, or we just shouldn't be doing that. We're not paying for this. Always an argument over money, which obviously made me feel like, oh my gosh, none of my parents want to pay for me, which led me to be an adult who overpaid for myself, right? And then there's a flip side to that. I've had to work through overpaying for other people and really then trying to change other people's lives through money, being like, let me support you financially, and not putting myself first, not going all in on myself. And remembering that. So whatever it is that you're doing, it's always remembering you're in the middle. You're in the middle. There is no before, there is no after. You are constantly in the middle until the day you are no longer on this earth. You are just in the middle. And you always have that opportunity to change things. And looking at our Athena and our Freya for today. Athena, wise about our battles. What is the actual war we have to wage here? And Freya, just unabashedly be yourself. You want to wear the like low cut shirt and the whatever outfit, wear it. You want to wear your witch hat to the grocery store, do that. You want to wear your pajamas to the grocery store, do that. You want to say what you want to say, I guess say it, but you know, maybe not on social media to strangers because that never ends well. I think you get what I mean though. Unabashedly put yourself out there. All right. Let's see. I'm just seeing if I had any notes here. I don't think I did. I think I got them all. Let me do a scan through the comments since my phone is going to die on me. I've been talking fast and furious and not checking my comments. I don't know what is going on with my computer. I had all these tech problems on Thursday, which wouldn't allow me to live stream. And then I tried afterwards and it was like good to go. And so I didn't think it was a problem. Tried today. Problem. All right, let's see here. Strategic wisdom. Yes, Sarah Milne. If you're new here, I didn't introduce Team Sisters Enchanted. We've got Sarah Milne in the comments. She is our program director, astrology teacher, and teaches in all of our programs. Christina Booth is our student support and success sorceress. We've got Brandy Schaefer in the comments, and Brandy is a spinner of many plates behind the scenes, and she's always in our community cheering people on as well. Who else is here? I saw Danielle chime in. Danielle does creative and things like that. She edits our podcast. Oh, the book is up there. I was going to grab the book. Danielle designed that beautiful thing. She also does our photos. Let's see here. Wendy Gale, seriously proud of myself for following along for the 21 days. I'm proud of you too. And you know what? Even if you didn't do all the 21 days, it would be challenging for me to do something like this for 21 days. It just would, given the nature of I'm a homeschool mom, I own a business. Plus, like I was thinking about this the other day, that I say to myself, I'm busy, but I was like, I'm actually not. Like, I have tons of free time, but I fill my free time doing things I like to do, like going hiking, taking my kids for bike rides, going to get coffee and like fancy cake and treats in the afternoon. So I'm actually not that busy, but I fill my time very intentionally with the things I like to do, which makes me have a very full calendar. But because of that, it would be challenging for me to just like do 21 days straight. I would probably like read through days 1 through 7 all at once and then kind of implement on my own time. And then I would do the second chunk and then the third chunk and implement on my own time. So Carla's asking, when does it start again? And I think Brandy did get you there. You can do it on your own anytime. You can do the free challenge. We also have the book. You can find it wherever you buy books. You can see it up there. And there is a link inside the book where you can get additional video resources and printable handouts and a book club guide. So for $16.99, you can read through it, watch all the videos, and do it anytime. Let's see here. Yes, Sarah Milne, our program director, is saying Expedition to Soul will take you to the next super step. Yeah, Expedition to Soul is like the next awesome layer. Hello, Michelle Benzel. And Michelle's saying, we've all changed so much over the past 4 to 5 years. Yes, Michelle's been in our community forever. We met for the first time in, was it like 2018 maybe? And since then, Michelle has gone on to create a booming rock selling business, the Rock Cellar, CELLAR, Rock Cellar. Check her out on Instagram. Yeah, let's see here. Michelle's got blue hair. That is different. I'm just scrolling through. M wears her witch hat everywhere. I support that. Support it. Let's see here. Oh, and Stephanie too. Yeah, Jen Bauer. Jen's been with us forever also and has like had extreme life changes. Just checking it here. Helen says, Sisters Enchanted's the real deal. So glad I met you all so early on and renewed my spiritual journey. You're very much my magician card on this trip. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. Let's see. Paige getting your book today. I have like 4 copies of the book on order because they were taking, I have a whole case because I bought them like wholesale. So I have 50 copies, but I also bought copies because I wanted to get my own book in the mail and I was so impatient. I just kept ordering them. So there's going to be so many. Let's see here. Deborah saying, do you plan your day hour by hour? Sort of, Deborah. So I've talked about this here and there, but I do plan every Sunday. I plan my whole week ahead for work. Even though I'm self-employed, if I don't have work hours on my calendar, one, I work with a whole bunch of people, so that's challenge. I have to have work hours. If I don't have them on my calendar though, it makes it really easy to forget what I have to do. And I will put on my calendar then each day what I'm doing exactly. So like if I'm recording podcasts or teaching a class or writing emails, I write that on the calendar. So there's never any question when I sit down as to what I have to do. That saves me a lot of time. And then, yeah, I look at the weather for the week. And since we homeschool, I check out the weather and I plan in like hikes, and we spend a lot of time outside on the nice weather days. And if it's a bad weather day, that's when I put in like errands or other activities we might do, or just make that like a family movie afternoon or something. But yeah, I plan, not like totally hour by hour. I don't sit there and be like, this is what I'm doing every hour, but I have a pretty good idea every week as to what the week's gonna look like. Otherwise, things just don't get done. And I have a very, very full, rich life. So I have for the whole year in December, we had all of our, we're spending, I think it's like 15 weeks away from our home base so far this year. And we had all of those planned out in December, planned, booked on the calendar. But this way we can plan the rest of our life around that so that it doesn't get, if we have to do like doctor's appointments, or like my friend, lovely friend Christina here is graduating a program, and I can say like right away, yes or no, I'm not home. No questions asked. And I plan in all of the fun things that we want to do, like all of the adventures, they get planned in first, and then everything else goes around it. Andrea says 21 Day Challenge taught me I need to work on time management. I have all the time in the world, right? Yes. Let's see here. Love your courses, so helpful. Thank you, Bonnie, for saying that. Just checking out here. Yes, Jen was at yep. Jen came to another, well, you came to another one too. Maybe we'll get one on the books for next year. Didn't quite swing it for this year. Although we are hosting an event April 4th in Salem, and the way to come, it's just one day, but the way to come is to buy 10 copies of our book, and then you can give them away to people. And we're doing a couple workshops, and it's going to be in the Hawthorne Hotel conference room. Let's see here. Oh, Anita. Yeah, Anita, are you coming to Salem? I hope you are. I hope someone is. Heather says, so grateful to have found Sisters Enchanted, just beginning my journey and love everything I'm learning. Thank you for being here and for saying that. I appreciate it. Let's see. I love you all are sharing like that your spouses are like, oh, the sisters again. That's how my kids are. My daughter's like, the Sisters Enchanted again. And she walks around like pretending to make Sisters Enchanted podcasts, and she thinks I'm famous because she was on used my iPad to listen to Spotify one day to listen to JoJo Siwa, and my face and podcast showed up, and then I had the book, and she was like, Mom, are you famous? It's like, no, child, I'm not famous. But I appreciate your enthusiasm for me. Let's see. Michelle says, need to plan personal space in my life. Never thought to put them in first. Michelle, oh my gosh. I feel like now you're probably like, duh. We plan all of our trips, and we have, so we spend at least like twice a year. We try to go to this area in Florida that we love. And then we have a big fifth wheel RV camper. If anybody knows anything about campers, we have a big one, and from May to September, so far, because I have 2 old cats at home, elderly cats, like it's challenging to go away for long periods of time. I have to have people come over every day, which is what I just had to do when I was in Florida for 7 weeks. Someone had to go to my house every single day. And so it is challenging. So we do try to plan like week to 10-day trips in the middle. And we currently, just because of that, go like Maine into New York and kind of like all of the New England area. And we're hoping to do a year spin around, or like more than a year spin around the whole country coming up here, but I gotta sort these cats out first. Anyway, we put in everything. We book it all too, so there's no question as to whether or not we can be there. All that stuff comes in first, and then after that, then I look at, after all that stuff's put in, then I look at my work calendar, and any big things that need to happen go in next there. And then everything's just on. I use a Google Calendar so I can share everything with my whole family, and even Team Sisters Enchanted, everybody who works here can look up and tell you my personal schedule. But it's useful for them because they know when I'm going to be in Connecticut and when I'm not. So if we need to do projects like in person, or they need to know like what my recording situation is going to be like or something, everybody that needs access to it has access. So Google Calendar is my absolute best friend. And I don't have it on now because I just forgot to charge it, but I wear an Apple Watch, and it alerts me of things that are happening, because I so easily forget what is coming up. And I have like work things, personal things, and with the kids homeschooling, they do like video classes frequently. And so those will be on the calendar. And if I don't have my phone on me, because I try not to carry it around with me all day long, But my watch will alert me and say something's happening when you're supposed to be there. So many times that I've forgotten to tell like my mom or my husband when they're with the kids and I'm not, that they have an online class, and then I'll be here and like on a live stream and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're texting them like live class Zoom in the email, go find it. But it's because of the watch that I remember. So I live and breathe by my Apple Watch. And if only I could remember to get the charger out of my backpack now. I didn't take it out when we drove home from Florida last week, and there you go. Let's see. Deborah says, planning is my goal. Time management. Yes, time. Time is like, I don't know. I'm pretty wild about time. And like I said though, but being wild about time has allowed me tons of free time. Like I have tons of free time, but I spend it doing things. You know, I'm not like, I don't sit and just like, I'm not like a game, like I don't play games on my phone and stuff like that, but which I know a lot of people do, so no judgment. I've got lots of game people in my life, it's fine. But I just, because of the things I have to do with homeschooling and work, I make sure that the things I like to do, like I like to I go to one of those saltwater float tanks where they turn off the lights and you just float in the water for an hour. It's kind of trippy, but I love to do that. And it just, everything gets in the calendar and make sure there's time for everything. Michelle wants to do that too, but hauling all the rocks, right? And you've got pets too. But I think you're more comfortable taking yours on the road. You know, you probably remember how Kevin, my husband, does not feel the same about my cats as I do. Plus they're old and just, you know, their bathroom habits aren't the best these days, which makes it challenging to, I wouldn't really want them in the camper. Michelle, you're a time bender, don't lie. That's my trick to time bending. It's scheduling everything in. And then also saying no. I say no to pretty much everything. I have some friends who host online conferences and things and events, and I never say yes. But the reason I don't say yes is because it's just, I don't have the time capacity. And I really, when I say yes or no to things, I have to really think, what's this gonna be in my energy input versus what I'm gonna get back from it. And I'm very good at saying no now. I used to not be, but now I'm very good at saying no. And I don't always feel good about it. Like I'm a people pleaser. I don't like to say no. I don't like to feel like I'm letting people down, even if they're not let down. I assume immediately that I'm letting somebody down. So that's been a challenge, and I've set stronger boundaries and really just like, no, this is going to cost me this much energy and I can't do it. And also hiring help. I do have a lot of help. I have a ton of help. So hiring help is also the thing that has been useful. And before I could afford to hire help, I was just really creative in like the time usage we had. So when I couldn't hire help and I had little kids, I would like take them to the library so they could play in a contained area. They'd be distracted by all the stuff happening, and I'd bring my laptop and I would work. So I'd have to say no to the social conversation with the other moms, right? But that's how I got done what I needed to get done. So also just being really creative about how everything's gonna happen. And remembering that you're in the middle of the story. You always have the choice right now to change something. You can always change the next sentence by one decision, what you're doing right now. Let's see. Much better at no, but still back myself into corners. Yeah, I get that, Michelle. Let's see. Heather says, learning to say no sometimes easier than others. Yes. Michelle, hiring. I love Team Sisters Enchanted, don't get me wrong. But hiring has been the most challenging part of business growth for me, across like anything. So I think I think it's a skill, and that's why there are HR people in the world, because they're skilled at it, and I'm not an HR person. Paige has learned with my kids, no, always first, think first, right? Yes. Yeah, float tanks. I do enjoy the float tank, though I'm not good at, okay, I shouldn't say I'm not good, because you can always practice and get better, right? It's not my strong suit to just chill out and not think about things. So, and our float tank is pretty big, the one that we have, and I'm only like 5'2", 5'3", so there's plenty of room for me to actually move in there. So I find myself half the time like pushing off one end with my foot and then pushing off the other with my hands and sort of just pushing myself around like a starfish the whole time. But I do find it relaxing, and I have like back problems these days, and I find it just like relaxing on my muscles too. Like I'm not holding myself up and I'm just laying there. So I do find it relaxing, and it's kind of dehydrating also in a way. So like I feel like it's pulling out lots of stuff that I have like just stored up, you know, when I get out and need to drink a lot of water to refresh. So I feel like it's kind of cleansing energetically. But Danielle says, Danielle lives local here. So she's our creative person who designed the book that I should grab. But yeah, I bounce around the walls in there too, Danielle. I just cannot sit still. Anyway, totally give it a try. All right, y'all. By now I probably only have 10% battery left on my phone, but where do you get them? Teresa's asking. So this is like a saltwater float tank where they turn off all the light. It's like sensory deprivation, though the one that we have, like you can leave a light on inside. So you can kind of choose your level of sensory deprivation, but this is like a place where I go. It's not in my yard. Let's see. All right, one more comment, and then I'm going to go for my phone dies. Helen says, I recently realized my struggle is less about doing for others and more about being for others. People pleasing with my interests, endeavors. Yeah, always checking who I might affect or disappoint. Yes, I get that also. And I'm not immune to that. There's many people in my family who are not interested in my way of life, things I talk about. I'm constantly ridiculed for not putting my kids in school. Like, just the choices we make that result in some things we're like health insurance things that people don't approve of with us, or, like the topics that I talk about here at Sisters Enchanted. So I get that. I totally get that. I'm not immune to it. I think that really just, again, all this stuff in self-care. It's in Freya, just being unabashedly yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you think of tarot, right? Judgment right before the world. You're the only one, you're held judgment to yourself. So if you can look yourself in the mirror and smile, that's what matters. Not what everybody else says. They're not putting food on your table. They're not taking care of you every day. I wouldn't worry too much about what anybody else says. Easier said than done, I know. All right, so I'm gonna go now. We have the Expedition to Soul starts the 18th. You can register for the free version. It's like the classic version, or you can register for the upgraded Expedition to Soul. It's only $39, so it's like no brainer. And the benefits, the most clear benefits, we have the videos and all the materials are right in our app for you to use. So you don't need to go looking for a link. Just go in the app, they're right there. You'll have lifetime access. Like as long as the app is there and you're there, you can go in. And every time I say that, I think of people at like 99 years old and they're like, where's my Sisters Enchanted app? I think you get what I mean. As long as you're there, it's there. You can get in there. And all the videos are right there, and replays will be right in there, really easy for you to find. Plus we're doing extra videos. Our friend Rochelle is doing a visualization for you all. She does it in our membership every month. She's doing it one on the 18th in the afternoon. We're going to host extra chats this week. We have to put it on the calendar, but we're going to host a Zoom where everybody can come if you want to. And you can do your MAPS activities and some of the field guide work and share it as a group. And there's, we're sending stickers, which I don't have one here, but we are mailing out stickers to you that say Expedition to Soul and one that says the Sisters Enchanted. And I dug up some vintage card slinging, magic making, Enchanted Sisters stickers. So we're just going down the list as people register, and until we run out, we'll be sticking some vintage stickers in there. I found those tucked away in a box. So until those are gone, and those will get stuck in envelopes as well. All right then. So, okay, for real and leaving, register for Expedition to Soul. Starts the 18th. We'll see you there. And lots of pre-work and live streams coming up this week too. So you'll see a lot of me. Have a great day, everybody. And yeah, onward to some Expedition to Soul. Bye.